Welcome to the Tech Sharmit podcast, where technology is not just news, but the roadmap to the future. This is a space where we explore the latest tech trends, AI, startups, gadgets, and the ideas that redefine the way we think. Leading this conversation is Amit Sharma, globally recognized as Tech Sharmit. A technologist from Bharat, Amit brings an Indian perspective to the global technology landscape. With deep technical expertise and strong industry insight, and for his contributions and impact within the global tech community, he has been recognized with several prestigious honors, including Google Developer Expert, Microsoft MVP, IBM Champion, and Planet Mainframe Influencer. Through this podcast, he shares practical knowledge, real world perspectives, and globally relevant thinking designed to help you stay ahead in an ever evolving technology landscape. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the Tech Sharmit channel to stay updated with future episodes. And if you're looking to level up your skills, don't forget to explore the Tech Sharmit digital course book in the description box, where you'll find thousands of free programming courses curated to help you grow as a developer. So plug in your headphones and join us as we begin today's episode of the Tech Sharmit podcast.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tech Sharmit podcast. Today I'm joined by another very special guest, Vikas Bajpai, who is joining us from Bharat itself. If I talk about Vikas, then he is a PhD in computer science, IEEE ASEAN senior member, product strategist, Google developer expert, community leader, speaker, and author. His journey spans academia, industry, and large scale community building, making his perspective deeply practical, reflective, and highly relevant for the professional navigating through technology careers. So, today in this episode, we will talk about product strategy in the AI era. We will talk about career planning beyond coding, machine learning, fundamentals, and mentorship. But before we get started, I would like to thank Vikas for joining us today in this episode. And now I request you to please initiate the discussion by telling us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. So I am Dr. Vikas Bajpai. I have done BTech, MS by Research, and PhD in Computer Science and Engineering. I teach variety of courses at LNM IIT, and I lead Google Developers Group Jaipur chapter. And along with that, I love interacting with people. I prefer traveling. I'm a foodie as well.
Okay, Vikas. So, Vikas, like as you mentioned, and those who know you from LinkedIn's or other technical platforms, so they mostly widely known you as a PhD in computer science, IEEE ACM senior member, product strategist, and GDE community leader. But how do you personally introduce yourself as a person beyond those LinkedIn titles and accolades or the technical achievements?
Yeah, so for everyone, I am Vikas, and my students probably I feel they might feel that he's the one who can be contacted in order to share their feelings about anything and everything, any problem which they want to share, any issue which they have, any suggestions they want. And for my colleagues, uh, I guess I am the one with whom people love to share their secrets even. And we do have a long chat with all my colleagues. And so and for the rest of the world, like anyone can simply, my number is available to the entire university, and they can simply drop me a message or drop me a mail, and we can fix appointment to sit and interact and have a chat over a cup of coffee. So I'm available to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is the reason those who are from alumni, they are still in touch with you. In fact, I saw one of your recent posts where you mentioned about one of your student who interacted you in recent few days back. So I think that is the nature of yours that allows everyone to easily, like, you are easy to approachable, right? Whether it's a student or
Yeah.
colleagues you just mentioned, and I think that is the best qualities leaders have. So just that makes you apart, sets apart from the others.
Thank you.
Okay, Vikas. So moving ahead, we will talk a bit about the technical things, and also your approach. We will try to figure out your mindset behind choosing the career and also the right technology. So let's just start from the major shift itself, because as we are into 2026, so what do you think? Like, what major shifts are you seeing in product strategy as well as technology leadership, especially when we are talking about the AI first product, developer platform, or community driven innovations?
Right. So there are multiple ways to look into the current scenario. On one side, what we see is that there is actually a need of incorporating AI solutions to the product.
Mm-hmm.
For that, definitely people are taking certain steps. And on the other side, there are leaders who want, just because of a FOMO, they want to somehow incorporate the AI solution to the problems where it is probably not even required at this moment of time. So, I mean, there are things which can be avoided simply, but just because of this FOMO, people want to incorporate AI solutions, and that has, resulted into a kind of panic kind of situation.
Yeah.
Panic in the sense that people feel that yes, if suppose my product is simple, it is serving the purpose, but it has no AI component. Let me add it. Right, it
Hmm.
can be, and it has resulted into adding a simple chatbot which is not even required many times. There is a requirement of human in loop, not AI in loop.
Correct.
But yes, at the higher level people are taking a call on it, and probably I feel that's why you see lot amount of small duration AI courses are you know uh, mushrooming up, just because people are even as a student or maybe anyone from a non-tech background, they want to know something about AI.
Correct.
So that's how things are turning up. In case of community building, so what I feel is that yes, instead of having a regular meetup every time, I feel that 90% of the meetups are revolving around some AI product or some AI
Right.
solution. The discussion always revolves around that particular thing only.
Correct. Okay, so because like you have worked with both tech professionals as well as students, right? So what do you think? Like, did you notice anything particular that yes, tech expert are adopting the AI things fast, or students? Like, did you figure out any common thing between these two communities, whether students are adopting it fast or the tech professionals who are already into work?
Yeah, so the tech professionals are still a bit considerate in adopting it.
Okay.
Uh, but when I see how students are approaching these days, they want to do a BTech project or a mini project in AI domain only.
Okay.
And that's what a major shift has happened. And if you carefully observe, there is a change in like previously the ACM ICPC programming contests used to be very popular. These days I see lot amount of focus is diverted towards the hackathons, which are
Mm-hmm.
primarily on Gen AI based hackathons, or maybe simple AI solutions based hackathons. So that kind of shift is happening, and instead of students coming up with some regular products, they prefer to have some in some solution where they'll incorporate some AI models, uh, and they'll try to come up with certain solutions for those problems.
Okay. All right. So now we'll take one question on behalf of all non-technical professionals. So for non-technical professional and I would say the career switchers, how should they think about technology product today? Like, what are the skills or perspective that really matters more than the coding itself in this year and the upcoming time? So what skills are
Yeah.
required?
So, see, things are changing rapidly. And for non tech people, if they want to migrate into this particular domain, they have to take a call on the which domain they would like to switch in. The
Okay.
easiest way, probably, which I feel, is that if they are planning to enter into AI domain, it would be better, there is like just to learn certain basics, or if suppose they want to enter into data science without AI, I mean, so analyst kind of roles if they want. So for that sake, they have to be good in number crunching. And the
Hmm.
first thing which I feel is that if suppose you are doing certain courses which help you in analyzing the data, that's something which is very important, right? If suppose you are able to analyze it, you'll be able to properly bring a shape to that data. And afterwards, the whole world is open to you. I mean, you can keep on working on certain models, you can keep on analyzing your results, and then you can look for whether it is fruitful or not, and then you further take a final call on it.
Okay. And let's say there is a group of student who are from the non-technical background. They don't know much about coding and other technical stuff, but they are interested into AI because nowadays everyone is talking about AI. Some here somehow like they develop their interest into AI, and now in 2026 they want to start career into AI. So what roadmap they can follow? Like because their background qualification is also not related to technical. Maybe they are from other domain. So, what would be the right approach to learn the AI and to work in or to contribute in this community?
Yeah, so this is also like pretty situational. Let's assume like if suppose a particular person is in, let's say, financial domain.
Mhm.
So the best advice which I give it to them is, I mean, this is what I feel,
Yeah,
is just to understand their domain and try to identify the use cases where we can incorporate AI.
correct.
Firstly,
Yeah.
I mean, the person, he or she should know about what basically the AI is, right? And then in their domain, try to identify those use cases where I'll try to incorporate some AI solutions, and then we can take one step at a time.
Hmm.
For
Yeah.
example, let's take some scenario where I have a student from, let's say, physics background,
Mhm.
and is dealing with let's say nanotechnology, right? And they have good number of a huge chunk of data, right? And for that sake, they probably would prefer to have some solutions where some of the basic algorithms which would be dealing with the numbers. So moving towards that track, and then further taking a step ahead. For example, let's say someone is having some rainfall data, for example. So
Mhm.
probably a time series data we have. So now we have identified the use case that yes, that particular person would be working in let's say climate domain, or climate dynamics. So in that case, let's start with some of the basic time series algorithms, get some outputs, try to visualize the data, right? So
Right.
that's how, the moment you see certain results on your screen, the confidence increases. So
Correct.
start with small steps, then take further steps, coming up with applying some hybrid models, some complex models, and then obviously taking a further call on whether you have to deal with only the numbers. Now I'm moving towards, let's say, satellite imagery data. So there, the algorithms would be a different ones. You have to deal with the new set of algorithms. So that's how you take the steps forward.
Okay, so instead of directly approaching towards any particular domain, you should firstly focus on your own domain, like where you can utilize the AI tools or where you can contribute or adopt the AI tools related to your domain, and then step by step, gradually you can learn the concepts and try to implement that for your solutions. Okay,
Yeah, this is what I feel, because that would relate them more as compared to landing up to a totally different
correct.
island, and then realizing where I have landed right now, and then trying to uh, go ahead with some heuristic approach in order to find some solutions where probably AI solutions might not be even required. So that's how I suggest that, okay, in whichever domain you are, you try to identify the problem and then take those second steps.
Yeah, in fact, like let's say if someone is from medical domain, so they know about their domain, they know the requirement, they know the problems, so they have that right opportunity to understand it and then build a solution for that. Otherwise, like if someone from other background tried to solve their problem, so they need to firstly understand the requirement and then entire process. But they already have that benefit, right? They know about their domain, so they can start working on the problem and get that solutions.
Yes, like even after giving so much time into this um, yeah, machine learning and deep learning domain, if suppose we in fact we are working with some of the healthcare problems, so we know that we are not the subject matter experts in that case,
Right.
right? So those medical practitioners would be the best fit to provide certain inputs, and in fact
Yes.
many times you can work behind the curtains also. For example,
Mhm.
let's say I have to provide certain solutions in the field of insurance. So any subject matter expert, right, can be a part of my team, is not directly, learning AI, but is supporting us in order to provide certain solutions because he has that expertise in that particular subject. I may
Yes.
not be knowing all the verticals and horizontals of insurance domain, but that person who has already spent 10, 15 years in that particular domain would be the best fit for my team.
Okay. Yes. So, because now we will talk about the job security, because that is also a hot topic nowadays, especially when AI comes into the market. So some people are afraid of it, some are adopting it, some are believing that it will not impact the job. But based on your experience and mentoring, managing people, what practical advice would you like to give someone trying to build the future proof tech career without burning out or chasing the every trend? Because that is also a problem I found in students, because they saw that yes, this is a trending topic, you should focus on it, and they spend their time, and later on they figure out, no, that was not their domain. So for such students, or who especially want to build a future proof tech career, so what advice would you like to share?
Yeah. So here I would give a totally different advice
Yeah.
probably. What I tell to my undergrad students is that look for all possible directions initially.
Okay.
Over a period of time, when you look into all directions, you'll
Mm-hmm.
find that yes, you have a certain amount of inclination towards one or two.
Okay.
Now start moving ahead in those two directions. After taking couple of steps, you'll feel that yes, I'm only inclined towards, or probably biased towards, a single direction.
Correct.
Take that particular direction, move ahead. If you're good at something, give your best. You will definitely land up to one of the most secured positions. And probably, let's say, if suppose I am, let's say, good in people management, so
Mhm.
I should choose this particular field irrespective of whatever market conditions are there, because I know I'll be able to survive even if there is a recession, right? I'll definitely get some other opportunities, irrespective of whatever the market conditions are.
Yeah.
It's all about the kind of talent you have. It's not because still, in every domain it is very tough to identify good people.
Right.
If you're good at something, you'll definitely get a call from um some or the other firms in after giving some, after covering some steps, I would say.
Yeah, and I think this is the best approach, because by exploring all possible domains, at least you will figure out what are the things that won't work for you, because you are trying to attempt it. And if you found that no, this is not your areas, then you can look for the another option. And by the time, like, you will gradually reach out to the point where you will find your interest, that yes, this is the area where you want to contribute. So that is also a
Yeah.
best way to figure out the things.
Yes, in fact, I have certain examples where one of my student was very good in photography, right? Another student was very good in coding, and another student was very good in people management. These three students, they formed a team, and they are now running a very good startup, and which is very popular. And in fact, they are providing jobs to more than 50 plus folks now.
Yeah, that's great. And in fact, like, when the like-minded people collaborate with each other, then, like, for sure, like, they will figure out something. Like you just mentioned about one of your startup. I think this is related to the startup which is formed in alumni IT itself, right? It's is
Right.
it the Mentox you're talking about?
Right now, event graphia I was talking about. So one of
Okay,
the person was very good in photography, another one in coding, another one in people
so
management.
they group the
These guys
things.
formed. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so moving ahead, because we will talk about one of the issue I found that most of the students, especially those who are about to start their career, so they are afraid of mathematics when we are talking about the AI and ML, and I think many learners struggle with the math behind the ML that includes linear algebra, probability, and optimization. So, which concept you think are truly non-negotiable today when we are dealing with ML or AI, or which ones can be abstracted by the modern tools in the later go? So, what is your opinion on that?
Yeah, so it's a very good question, because whenever I sit in any interview panel, I find people say that yes, I know I'm working in AI and ML domain, but when we ask about some basic maths, right?
Yeah.
So they struggle to answer probably, and many times they use certain models, but they are not aware about the rationale behind using that particular model.
Hmm. Right.
So that is something which is required, because these days, uh, you know. Writing a code is not a tough nut to crack. So using a particular model is not a tough thing,
Yeah.
but the reason behind using that particular model will be clear if you know the maths behind it.
Hmm.
So
Right.
to start with, one thing which is non-negotiable is the linear algebra.
Okay.
That is something which is required. The next part would be your probability, and statistics would add a cherry on the cake. So these two things are something which are must. And I would say, if you want, anyone who wants to be called as a machine learning engineer or data scientist should thoroughly cover these two courses.
Okay.
That's something which is not negotiable at all.
Okay. All right. And like we talked about the interview, and you have a exposure on interview as an interview panel, like you have uh, interviewed and screened the so many resumes. So for you, like what you think, like for students transitioning from academia to industry, what technical gaps do you most frequently observe in their understanding of scalable or production grade ML system? If we talk about the ML area itself.
Yeah. So I would throw some light of what was happening in past and what is the current scenario.
Yeah.
Previously, the companies used to hire, and they used to hire in bulk, and they used to let the students, go through a rigorous training process for 6 months or 9 months or probably 1 year. So they used to train them, and then they used to bring them on they used to let them work on certain projects. These days, uh, these companies don't prefer to spend so much on training. So they want that the hiring which they are going to do would be in a way that they'll not spend probably 2 months or hardly 3 months in order to put in some effort for the training, and they want something more out of these students. Right. The reason is also, I mean, I feel they are fair in that part, because nowadays students are exposed to much amount of information as compared to what was happening in past, when we
Mhm.
had limited data connectivity, less amount of online courses, less amount of online content. These days you see content explosion, the data explosion. The students are exposed to lot amount of information, what is happening. They have access to lot amount of resources. So it is expected that in case of, let's say, if you want to land up into data engineer's job or data scientist job, so they prefer that some of the courses should be thoroughly done. For example, it should be your, in case of NLP, a course on natural language processing is something which is required. A course on computer vision is something which is required, and basic AI, ML, and deep learning courses definitely should be a part of curriculum, and and the student should be aware about when to use what kind of algorithm in what all
Mm.
scenarios, and how to deal with what kind of data, how to deal with biases, right? How to before all these things, we have to also look into that the student should be well versed with cleaning the data part, right? Pre-processing concept is something which is required, because if suppose once you are able to shape your provide a shape to your data, you are good to go with the other algorithms. So that's how the things have changed over a period of time. The expectations of the companies are on a higher side, and obviously, the pay perks have also improved
Yes.
a period of time. So I feel they are also fair in that part as well.
Okay, and let's say students have completed this phase of their life, like they are selected in interview, and now they are working into ML. So, what are the common architectural mistake team make when integrating the ML model into the existing enterprise system? Because maybe we can consider it as a separate question, because students are now settled, they are working for enterprise system, and now they are typically working with the ML models. So, what common mistakes, common architectural mistake they makes when they are integrating the ML into the systems?
Yeah. So, firstly, here also, whether we have to actually, migrate from the traditional
Hmm.
system to this AI-based system is also a call to be taken at the very early, at the CTO level, or probably
Yes.
your project manager level. And then some of the things are like, if suppose I am getting a data pipeline, right? So how to filter that particular portion, and how to deal with some of the pumping concept. And then if suppose we have a huge chunk of data, right? So when we talk about Gen AI applications, so whether the models will be able to absorb the entire data as a whole or not. So whether I have to provide, or whether I have to work on breaking that data into smaller chunks or not. So these calls, and plus, majority of these startups have availed cloud services. So there is a cost associated with clouds. So I have to optimize these things so that my uh, cloud usage cost is, or the computation usage cost is, not on a higher side. So one has to take a call on all these aspects and then finally provide certain solution, so that if suppose, let's say, I'm able to do a major computation at the local server, and then I'm moving to some of the portion of my data to the cloud, and then I'm looking for some minor computation. So that kind of model I can have. It can be a hybrid model, instead of solely relying on throwing the entire data and processing it, and at the end left with a huge amount of bill. It would be to optimize the things, and then providing certain solutions in a better possible way.
Okay. All right. So, Vikas, we talked about the models and so many technical things. Now, let's talk about the use cases of AI, especially because now everyone is using the tools in their day-to-day life. So, can you share two, three example where AI is significantly impacting in your day-to-day life, like how you are utilizing any particular tool, or how you have adopted so far the AI in your day-to-day life?
Yeah, so I would say, in fact, recently I availed Google services for the pro version services. So I feel that if suppose, in your day-to-day life, you are getting a chain mail, right? There are like 20, 30, chain mails, and you're running short of time. You have to get the gist of it, right? So
Yes.
when I get the gist in 4 lines, that's the best thing. The kind of satisfaction which I get for my investment which I've made is something which is beyond explanation. So it's like 20, 30 emails are there in 4 lines. I got the gist. If it is of certain importance, right, so definitely I'll go through and I'll read 5, 10 mails out of that. Or else I'll simply ignore it. I'll move to the next part, because
Mm.
that saves a lot amount of time. And scheduling all the things, right, in my office also I've kept certain, some of the Amazon devices to blink and show the notifications about some of the meetings which I have, probably, and the same Amazon device helped me that yes, some of the stuff will be delivered today, so I have to take a call on that. And on top of it, it's like, so entire family is connected through a common solution, so where we are able to see and communicate. So that's a separate thing. Previously these things were there, but not in that efficient manner which we see. And this is on one side. On the other side, if I see into my office work, so probably I have incorporated AI solutions to my research writing. So I don't want to because that won't be ethical, because I don't want all my technical articles to be written in you know with the help of AI tools, because that leaves the essence of the actual work. And so in that case, I prefer to write with the with my own instinct, and then I take some inputs from those tools. And apart from that particular part, right, storage is also, which is important, which is not. Some of the social media posts, some image enhancements, all these things are on. Apart from the research part, these some things are something which are on my daily things. In fact, I'm a traveler, I'm a foodie as well. So instead of reading 10 blogs on a particular city and the particular food items, it's the pro version of that is supported on my Google Maps as well. So I get the gist of all the reviews of us, uh, uh, restaurant in 2-3 lines. So that also helps me a lot. And there are a lot many things which are happening, right? There are things which are happening behind the curtains. Even many times I'm not aware of, but yes, my devices are aware about those things, right? So it has become. I mean, you can ignore it, but you cannot simply leave it. It would be a part of
Correct.
your day-to-day life.
Yes, and you just shared a hack for all foodies to figure out the best way
Yeah.
to use AI to find out the best food or the restaurant nearby.
Yes, yeah, you can consolidate all the reviews, right? 1,000 reviews, you'll get the gist of those reviews as well.
Right. Okay. So, Vikas, like we all know that you have touched so many lives as a mentor, as a teacher, right? So, but if we talk particularly about your support system, so looking back on your career, who are the key people around you that had a defining impact on your own journey?
Yeah, so I have, like, I would say, I believe on a particular line by Shiv Mangal Singh Suman, just say पथ पर स्नेह मिला उस राही को धन्यवाद, right? So, but yes, there are people who have a major impact on my life. My parents, my elder brother, Piyush Bajpai, my wife Anukriti, and one of my mentor who has played a very important role in my life is Professor Ravi Prakash Gorthi. His experience from the industry. He spent good amount of time in industry, and then he came to academia. So his experience helped me in dealing with the uh, real life products, and how to think for the solution for a particular problem. That has helped me a lot in adapting the technology, and where to include what in what all situations. For a particular software solution, you can exclude something. So those part are definitely I got from him directly. I mean, his guidance has helped me a lot. And then a lot amount of my students, lot many students of mine have you know taught me something or the other. It's always a two-way process, right? I
Yes.
feel that I also learn from my students a lot. So all I'm thankful to all my students as well.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, although like we have so many things we can discuss here, Vikas, but we are short on time, so I just want to take one last question, and this is related to the place you belong from. So, what is one thing about the Bharat or the city you live in, Jaipur, that is close to your heart and you wish to share with the rest of the world?
Yeah. So in Jaipur, you'll find I mean, I have closely observed this city since last 16 years, and the kind of culture it has, that's something which is very beautiful.
Okay.
The kind of people we have, right? You'll not find road rages and all on the roads and all. And in fact, here, I would also like to contribute something in a way that can improve the tourism part of Jaipur.
Okay.
I mean, I travel all across the globe, so I prefer that some of the solutions which I've observed in the Western countries can be incorporated in Jaipur, and it can be brought, into production, and definitely you can find, a much better tourist facilities, because I feel this is a place which attracts a lot many, not only people from Bharat, but we get global tourists as well,
Yes.
right? So here I feel we should, put in some efforts in order to improve the tourism part, the experience part, I would say. So I would definitely provide, would love to have some solutions, some AI based solutions. For example, every time I feel that we have some very good roads in Jaipur, right?
Yes.
Very good tourist attractions. So why not to connect it with the concepts of, the hop on hop off buses, which we see in the Western world. I mean, we do have hop on hop off buses here in Jaipur as well, but yes, it is not, automated. It's, mostly manual,
Hmm.
and I would love to see that thing incorporated here in Jaipur, so that, uh, the more people get the feel of this particular city. The food, the food options which we have here are, which are out of the world, I would say. So that flavor I want that entire world should see. Uh, so here I feel some, we can have some automation part added to it.
Right, that's a great vision, and I'm sure like it will be implemented very soon because the way every technologist is working on their area, for sure, like they will come up with some great solution on this area as well.
Yeah, hope so. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much, Vikas, for joining us today in this episode and for sharing so much information regarding the AI and the way students should approach towards the AI. It was really a pleasure talking to you here.
It was lovely, lovely coming here on your podcast, Sharmit. Yeah, thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you, Vikas.